I just got done watching the Punisher One Last Kill special presentation for Marvel Television, and in short, this was awesome. In short, this was a very good special. I loved like the one thing I could really say about this is to summarize it all. This special reminds me of John Wick. The way that the fights are portrayed is so good. John Bernthal, he, oh my god, with me seeing that prequel episode of The Bear last week, and this, John Bernthal is having an incredible year of acting. I'm so excited to see how he's going to do in The Odyssey and in Spider-Man Brand New Day when he's coming back as the Punisher. It's just so insane because you could really tell that with John Bernthal, he delved deep into the character of Frank for this time. And seeing as how this is like his first solo outing since his original series ended, I think it's just so interesting that we get to see him at such a low point in his life. If you don't know what I mean, basically this picks up. I'm assuming we we don't really know when in the timeline this takes place. If it takes place before the events of Daredevil Born Again, or if it takes place during the events of after season 2. But Frank is basically killed every person that was tied to his family's murder, and now that he's done that, he is just lost. He has no real sense of purpose. He because all throughout the entire time that we've seen him in the MCU, when he came to the Netflix to the season 2 of Daredevil, to his own Netflix show, Frank has always just wanted revenge. That's what he's been after, and now that he finally got that, he's kind of directionless. And I really loved how there was a scene when Frank was seeing going to his family's grave. He was this close to pulling the trigger on himself. And John Bernthal, who's the co-writer for this, he understands Frank so well. He understands the character of the Punisher so well, and it was just so. This has got to be one of my favorite things I've seen him in terms of acting. I it's been such a I have not seen the original Daredevil, the original Punisher series, so I need to go back. I need to go back and watch it eventually. But this was just such an enriching thing. Now, when it came to if there were any cameos, I really loved how Frank's delusion, so to speak, was how we got to see Curtis come into into the special, and even Karen, because because the one thing that I loved about one of the many things that I loved about Daredevil season 2 was how we got to see Frank and Karen's dynamic. I'm one of those people who kind of thinks that Karen and Frank belong together. I obviously I love Karen and Matt together, but I would love to see at some point in the future Karen and Frank get together because their dynamic is just so interesting, and I'm just really happy that they were able to get Deborah Ann Wolf to make a small cameo in this project. And Curtis, again, I think Curtis was basically the best friend that Frank had in his own show. So I really love that they were able to bring him back. I would have liked to see him in person, not in as like a an illusion, but I think it would have been cool. But I think it was cool that we still got to see him nonetheless. Now, on to our main villain of this project being Ma Nucci. I don't know too much about her in the comics. I know that she is a villain in the comics, but all I will say is that the actress who plays her, I'm blanking out her name. She played this villain so good from the moment she's introduced to that whole scene of her explaining to Frank how he killed her family. I think it's just so powerful, and like I got goosebumps that entire scene, and I just really love the actress who did that. I can't remember the actress's name, but she absolutely killed it in that scene. This is now going to kind of sway into like the problems I had with this special, mainly just being that this special was just too short. This special is only around 44 minutes without credits, and the last thing that we see of Manucci is just her driving away from Little Sicily while Frank goes to help the little girl and her father. I don't know if we're ever going to see Manucci again. If Frank gets another solo project for himself in the future, maybe during like the multiverse, during like the next saga, I would think it would be really cool for him to for that storyline to continue and him going after Manucci, and if Manucci will ever return, I think it would be really interesting because she's an interesting villain that I feel like could be explored more of how like she is basically now going down Frank's route where she wants revenge on him and she will do whatever it takes to kill him. Now, along with my complaints, again, I did this project was just way too short. I would have loved to see if if Manucci was going to be a one and done villain, I would have loved it to see Frank go after her. But I understand what Frank's arc for this project, for this special, was, and that was basically find new purpose in life. That's not just revenge. And seeing the role of Charlie and Dre be the key insight to that, I think that was really, really cool. And I also really loved how a lot of the action is just in one single location, that being Little Sicily. That's basically just going to hell, and I just really, really enjoyed that, and I just really enjoyed how throughout the entire project we just see how much of a hellhole it is, and how Frank is just in a way kind of vibing with it, because it kind of in a way kind of balances all the memories he went through when he was a Marine. The fight scenes, like I said at the start of this project, in terms of fight scenes, gave me John Wick vibes. Like, just the way that even when Frank fell off the building, that just reminded me of John Wick 4. And you just gotta love how Frank is he's just about that life. The fact that he even went down the John Wick route of stabbing a guy with a pen, that is just incredible. That shows that the fight style, that the fight choreography in this special was just so good. I just absolutely loved it. And yeah, this special was just honestly really, really cool. On the screen right now, you can see my overall ranking of the special. Of all the projects that we've gotten to Phase 6, of all like the mainline MCU stuff that we got in Phase 6, this is definitely my elite, like at the bottom tier of it so far. But I still really enjoyed this special, and I really hope that Marvel, if this really does successful, I really hope Marvel decides to do more special presentations, because we need stuff like this we need projects like this, like just to kind of fill that gap, fill that void between, like, feel like that middle ground between introducing new characters to the MCU while also giving characters an opportunity to be expanded upon. So like they could have easily done, if Marvel wanted to, they could have easily done another, like, a special presentation for Miss Marvel to just show what she's been doing, or even for Kate Bishop, because I think that would have been really, really interesting. But I'm kind of going on a tangent here. That's a tangent for a whole other video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the Punisher One Last Kill, and also let me know what you thought, what you've been thinking about MCU Phase 6, because Marvel has been on a hot streak in my opinion. Like Fantastic Four, Wonder Man, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and this, it has just been banger after banger after banger. So I am really intrigued to see where the rest of this year is going to go with the MCU projects, both movie, TV, and animated. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Josh from Reyes Reviews, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.